Medyo nakukulangan ako ng energy kasi excited na ako sa weekend eh. Because it's a Friday, guys. Come on, it's time for weekend now.
Grabe traffic eh.
Grabe traffic din, napagod. But again, hello everyone, welcome to SPNation Season 2, brought to you by Sports Plus. So in this sports-based show, we welcome your thoughts, speak your mind freely, say what you gotta say. I'm your host, Kyla Cortez. Together with me are Ayel Banal and Dino Lee. So how are you guys?
What's going on, mga ka-Sports Plus? Thank you again for sinusubaybayan nyo kami. But at the same time, it's gonna be another night of talking about sports, talking about whatever. Comment down below anything that you wanna say.
Yes.
We will be reading the comments down below later. And it's great to be with Kyla and Dino tonight.
Yeah,
Hello,
hi.
Dino.
Hello sa listeners natin this evening. No, I'm just glad to be back. 2 weeks. I think it's been 2 weeks since the last time I've had an episode with Sport. Yes, because our episode got cancelled because of the typhoon last week. Yeah.
And balita ko meron daw parating na typhoon.
Oh, no.
Dalawa ba?
Yeah.
So stay safe and dry, everyone. So before we start, if you're ready to elevate your sports experience, dive into the world of live sports like never before with Sports Plus PH. Whether you're a die-hard fan or simply love the thrill of the game, we've got you covered. So register now at sportsplus.ph. So our hot takes for today. First, we have the new UAAP residency rules. So we've mentioned this before sa previous stream namin, and we just want to talk about it more, focus on this topic tonight. Next, we have the fourth key effect. So, syempre UST to Ateneo to UST, we'll talk about more of that. And lastly, Dave Ildefonso and Northport standoffs. So, are you guys ready?
Interesting topics ha. Baka may parang connection yung tatlong topics natin, but we'll see. Comment down below guys later yung mga thoughts nyo.
Yes. So, okay, first, the new UAAP residency rules. So, as I mentioned, napag-usapan na natin to, but this time we have an update. So, may na-share ni Senator Pia Cayetano yung thoughts niya on this. And as she said, medyo nag-express siya ng rejection because this could violate the act protecting the amateur nature of student athletes. And for her, she urged the collegiate league to find another way to solve this nang hindi makakaapekto sa student athletes natin. Because of that, for her, mababawasan yung, kumbaga, we're hindering the athletes from their development, from their full potential.
Right.
But what about you guys? What are your thoughts?
For me, Senator Pia Cayetano is reinforcing what was already, the rule, the Jerry Pingoy rule a few years ago, no? Parang in-update nila. And so, essentially, sinasabi ni Senator Sen na, okay, remind ko lang kayo UAAP na bawal natin galawin, may law tayo na 1 year, yung 1 year lang yung mawawala sa residency. So ang ginawa ngayon ng, konting refresher lang guys, ginawa na ngayon ng UAAP because of all the transfers that happened over the off-season. Okay, 1 year residency, pero magtatanggal pa rin tayo ng isa pang additional eligibility year. So whether in the end...
That makes it 3 na lang, di ba?
3 na lang.
Kasi 5 di ba?
If you're coming from a rookie or sa umpisa. But kapag nakapaglaro ka na ng ilan, mas mababawasan pa yun ng mga thoughts on that, Dino?
Pero correct me if I'm wrong tama, you have 5 playing years
in
when
total,
you come
yes.
into
Yes.
tapos kung mabawasan na yung eligibility mo, depends kung lumipat ka or not. Okay. I wanna start things off by saying na I'm a big fan of the UAP, not just because I graduated from a UAP school or I'm currently studying in another one.
Don't be shy. Don't be shy.
But I believe the UAP. The reason I'm a fan of the UAP is because of they have the top sports programs in our country right now, producing numerous number of world-class athletes, di ba? Si Kaloy Yulog, although walang gymnastics sa UAAP, pero galing yung Adamson, si EJ Obiena, galing UST yan, di ba? So for me, on top of that, I don't have their financial statements, but from what I'm hearing, from what I know, and what I can summarize from what I know, is they rake in the most revenues I can confidently say, I think they rake in the most revenues among sports leagues and sports associations in our country. Proof of that, just look at the UAP stadium they're planning to build. Meron ka bang maniname outside the government, may sports facilities, they're building sports facilities, outside of the government, meron pa bang maniname na liga at sports associations? PBA nga, wala eh. UAP meron, di ba? So, doon pa lang, that's why I'm a fan of sports business, that's why I'm a fan of the UAP because they rake in those revenues. Now, going back to the point, for me, the UAP is taking a step backwards with this rule. Simply because, parang feel ko, parang they couldn't think of anything else. This is their easy way out to take control and power back into the school's hands by taking two playing years away from a player itself na nag-transfer from another UAAP school to another UAP school. So parang for me, it takes a step backward. And why do I say it's unfair? We have to go back. Bakit ba nila ginawa tong rule na to? Di ba? For what reason? And I think, nabanggit nga ni Ael, the Jerry Pingoy rule, di ba? Kasi pinoach from FEU napunta sa Ateneo. Di ba? And if you were to recall, kung nabasa nyo man mga viewers natin, 3 years ago, they tried to limit the benefits of the athletes. Parang yung target nila was 15 to 20,000 monthly allowance. Pero, there was an article that was released 2 years ago na hindi naman nagkaroon ng follow-through. And then recently, si Remogat, di ba, from UE to UP, si Mason Amos from Ateneo to Lasal, Kian Baklaan from NU to Lasal. Di ba, may reason ba't nila, the only reason ba't nila in-implement to, I believe, was because of the poaching. Maybe they got better offers, malaki yung financial incentives that they couldn't say no, di ba? For those players. So parang sa akin, tingin ko dito, it was all for the reason of poaching, or kumbaga yung poaching ng players of another UAP school na magaling. Pero, nasabihin ko 3 things na bakit unfair yun. Number 1, yun lang ba ang reason ba't lumilipat ang mga athletes? Yes, that might be one category. But another category is paano kung nagpalit yung coach? Bata niya yung player, iba na yung coach.
Yes.
He won't get the minutes that he's getting from that coach that got replaced. Number 2, what if unfavorable yung scenario? Diba? If you look at Robert Bolick, kilala naman natin si Robert Bolick. Sa Lasal, he didn't get that opportunity. Look where he is now. Look what he did with San Beda. Diba? SJ Moore, he was highly touted coming out of high school.
Right.
Pero lumipat na sa CSB ngayon, diba? So parang for me, yun nga, sinasabi ko, what if UAP school and unfavorable yung circumstances, di ba? And nakita niya parang hindi maganda yung opportunity, parang you're taking away the freedom of the athlete to choose a better opportunity for himself. So, that's my number 1. I think yun pa lang, wala na talaga. Kasi, hindi naman ang lipatan is because of recruitment lang or better financial incentive. Number 2, I do believe in my observation of Philippine basketball, the peak of an athlete is college basketball. So, kung tinatanong ng mga online, 'di ba, there's a discourse online na bakit yung mga rookie, yung age ng mga PBA rookies na nagpapa-draft is 24, 25 or may 30 plus na. This is the answer. They're trying to maximize yung college experience nila, college playing years because that's the peak. Kasi pagdating mo ng PBA, ilan players lang makukuha doon.
Right.
Hindi naman 12 teams lang yun. So 12 times 15, that's 180 players. And ilan yung players pa lang sa UAP, di ba? Eh hindi mo naman kung PBA team ka, hindi mo naman papalitan lahat ng players. So for me, that's number 2, the peak is college. So you have to allow them to maximize. Kung ma-monetize nila yung experience nila, let them monetize. Number 3, lumalabas dito, labanan sa UAP is recruitment, 'di ba? Kung parang ang pananaw nila is the reason why you're making this move is kung di tayo maka-recruit, di tayo maka-champion. What about development? What about creating a system, 'di ba? Just like what Villanova did sa NCAA, Jalen Brunson, Mikal Bridges, ang pangalan nung hustler nung sa New York, si ka-podcast ni Jalen Brunson,
si
Josh Hart. Di ba, hindi sila one and done. Di ba sila yung nag-champion sa NCAA, yung March Madness. Yung mga Duke na mga one and done, hindi sila nag-champion. So for me, parang sinasabi natin, basically, what the move is saying is, kung di ka nag-recruit, di ka mag-champion. Kung nag-recruit ka, ikaw mag-champion. Pero confirmed yan eh. I had the source, mismo kunento sa akin, college basketball is a battle of recruitment.
Yes.
Pero I refuse to believe that. I think there's a better solution for that. Those are my
Right.
3 things.
I think marami sinabi si Dino and comment kayo sa lahat na sinabi kasi I agree with a lot of the points that he was saying. But also to summarize, in terms of the new UAAP residency rule, to be fair to the UAAP, okay? I'm also I am an athlete, like I know the growing pains of an athlete, and I agree that medyo unfair yung UAAP residency rule. But siguro for the benefit of the UAAP board, the schools, for their protection, I think dalawa yung types of players na tinitignan isa yung tinitignan nila and hindi siya nagka-cater dun sa isang type of player. So, in the likes of Mason Amos, yung mga star, yung talagang up and coming, it makes sense. It makes sense because, okay, if you're this caliber, let's just say ito na lang, arguably the top caliber player of the in college right now is KQ. Okay? Let's say si Kimbao lumipat na Ateneo. It makes sense na parang, okay, ipag-residency yan ng isang taon tas bawasan ng isang taon because meron tayong also kino-consider na kahit kailan pwede umalis si KQ at mag-ibang bansa at maglaro. So, iiwanan din niya yung school. So, sobrang unfair dun sa school. Okay? So, it makes sense for players like Baclaan and Amos and syempre iba yung kay Jacob Cortez. But, however, to Dino's point, I agree. May mga ibang players like Sinabolic. They cannot afford to lose one more year of eligibility because they're trying to make a name for themselves. And so, yung peak ng physical ng athlete is mga 25, ganyan. But in the Philippines, ang marketability peak mo is college because like what Dino said, number one basketball association leaguer or franchise is UAAP. So the things that you can get, your assets, your marketability, your commercials, endorsements, your sponsorships, lahat yan mas makukuha mo talaga sa peak ng college. So, we're talking about a different type of player here. So, it makes sense, I agree, for the likes of Mason Amos. But for the likes of that person who's... and may mga ibang teams pa dyan dahil recruitment nga, nag-hoard ng mga players. So, kukuha sila ng 12, 15 superstars. Hindi naman lahat, 5 lang magagamit dyan. So, paano yung iba? So, and to sum it up, for me, I think we have to also look at those players as well to what Dino was saying, di ba? Yung mga nabangko, lilipat sila not necessarily because of money or financial benefits. It's because this is my career.
Chance to shine.
Yes.
Exactly.
Like I said, I mentioned this in the previous episode that I was in, that ang buhay ng basketball player hindi habang buhay, maliit lang talaga siya. And magre-retire kami ng mas mabilis. So we have a short amount of time to get as much as we can, not only for ourselves, but also to make a living, to make a living, to provide for our families, for our future families. And so, kawawa lang yun. Sila yung matatamaan dito, yung mga nababangko at gusto lumipat just para makapaglaro. Sila yung matatamaan
exactly. So
dito.
yun yung point ni Senator Pia
Right.
Cayetano. No? So I'll just quote her. Sabi niya na it's not about the medals that the university brings home, but it's about the lives we can change through sports. So definitely, di ba? Yes, Dino.
Sa akin, ano naman parang at the end of the day, UAP is a competitive arena. Right? And siguro kung may mag-agree ako sa UAP, is the intent itself. Is they're trying to establish parity. Diba? Kasi ako, kasi sa akin, hindi mo just like in the NBA or in other professional leagues, medyo mahirap sa football, medyo mahirap mag-establish talaga ng parity. But you try to optimize the level of parity in your league. Like sa NBA, hindi mo naman ma-avoid na mas attracting yung
Lakers,
New York,
Boston.
Lakers, Boston. It's a different, hindi mahirap i-compete nun.
Right.
But makita naman natin like Milwaukee won a championship. Sino yung before Boston. But anyway, Milwaukee won a championship,
Bucks.
so which is a small market team. So parang sa akin, gusto ko yung intent ng UAAP to establish parity. Kasi ang hirap naman So, let's be honest, mahirap magpag-compete sa UAP, Ateneo at saka Lasal ngayon.
Yes.
Right? UST, sama mo rin
Bro.
kasi may
Yes,
SMC.
yes.
Yeah, may tatanong ako sa'yo.
Oh.
Guys, hot take to. Hindi naman hot take, hot suggestion, I would say.
Sa akin, mahirap talaga eh.
So,
Oh.
what's one of the ways that the professional leagues establish parity?
Sa akin, di ba, draft, you have the draft.
Draft. So,
may salary cap.
here's my question. Hear me out, people.
Ano?
Okay, go.
Is it a good idea to establish a draft in the collegiate level?
Sa
Sa
akin-
recruitment,
Draft?
Sa akin,
high school.
Sa akin, pwede.
Okay.
Kasi iba yung dynamics ng if you look at the US,
Yeah.
wala silang UAP juniors. Wala kang
Yeah.
makikitang Duke High School. Wala kang makikitang University of North Carolina High
High
School.
school.
Dito kasi yung mismong
Right.
collegiate teams, meron
Right.
silang high school itself.
Yes.
So sa akin, that can be one option that they can explore is to have a draft.
Draft, no?
Or another, di ba, nag 4-point shot naman PBA, why not magpa-draft tayo sa college,
Yeah,
di ba? At the same time, I think, parang sa akin masyadong easy way out yung patawan mo ng
Yeah.
Sa akin, I think, it might be harder, but you can explore talaga is managing yung benefits na binibigay. Pero sa akin, ang hirap i-control nun eh.
Mahirap.
Mahirap
So-
yung benefits eh,
Oo,
because of the act nga.
We're trying, di ba, we're in the age of empowering athletes,
Yes.
giving them a voice, maximizing their potential and their brand. Parang sa akin, medyo paatras to. So, sa akin, why not explore other scenarios? Parang ngayon, ililimit natin yung paglipat ng mga players. Sige, ilalagay natin yun sa pagbawas ng playing eligibility. Yun lang ba yung solution? I think there are other ways.
Okay, so my question for you guys, since, di ba nga, it's between UAP and Senator Pia, sabi niya, baka naman may adult way
Right.
to, fix that rule, change that rules. For you guys, yung drafting and benefits, is that the best way? Or paano ba masasolve tong issue to with UAP right now?
Interesting. What you're essentially asking me is if I was head of the UAAP,
Yes.
what can I do? Honestly, here's what I'll do. I'll do both. Pero baliktad. So, imbes na sa a benefit cap, no, financial benefit cap, I would suggest a benefit minimum. Okay? So for all players, kasi pwede siya, let's say ako, coming out of high school. First, I'll introduce the draft. I'll do a draft, okay? Ito ang consequence ng draft ngayon. Alam ko yung worth ko coming out of high school and the top number 1. Pupunta ako sa school na walang kakwenta-kwenta. Let's just say. Diba, walang pagkain, walang ganyan, yung education system, ganyan. So I think caliber league like UAAP, we can set a minimum minimum benefit na pag ito ka, kailangan ito yung mga sort of like a max contract for a top pick, di ba? But we will also establish a draft. This is fun for me because I would love to see a league, always love to see a league where you wouldn't know who's gonna come out on top. And I think it will establish parity in 8 schools joining in the UAP. Why not? Like you said, ginawa nga natin yung 4.3. Everyone thought it was okay, pero it's working. So
Disagree pa rin ako sa 4
talaga? Disagree ka? Disagree ka?
Okay, wait lang.
Disagree.
Really back and go.
Sa akin, I'm open to a suggestion na may draft, may
Some
minimum,
sort of a draft. Some
sort of a draft and may minimum benefits. But sa akin, palakasin niyo yung program nyo. A program is not just about how
Right.
much money you have.
Right.
It's about anong strategy nyo, ano yung discarding nyo, yung continuity ng program nyo, yung
Right.
development ng players nyo. I think yun yung nakakalimutan sa atin eh.
Yeah.
Di ba? Parang sa akin, di ba, like, I think na-expose yung the level of, baka may magagalit sa akin dito, I really don't care. Pero, nakita mo yung FIBA OQT?
Yes.
Who were the players that we relied on?
Yeah.
Justin Brownlee, Dwight Ramos, si Chris Newsome.
Yeah.
Saan ang development nila? States.
Yeah.
Diba? Na-expose tayo, then we tried, tapos yung minutes ng starting five na, I think Junmar and Kai was the only the only locals or homegrown players natin that showed up eh. Diba? So parang sa akin, dito lumalabas yung are we really focused on the development or we're just recruiting talents or we're just an association of talent recruitment, di ba? Best talent wins, basically. Sa akin, I think I would rather look at it on, palakasin niyo yung program niyo, gawa kayo ng diskarte. I don't think that's the only solution, di ba?
Right.
Di ba, sinasabi nga nila, pag may problema, may paraan yan, di ba?
Yes.
Pero if we're just gonna cry kasi nakukuha ng Ateneo Lasal yung UP yung mga players natin, we're not gonna find the most optimal solution.
Right.
Di ba?
Yeah.
Because we're already making excuse on why we can't have a good program.
Right. Ako, I have agreed with everything that Dina said until there. Only because parang yun na yung nakikita ko na parang I agree na player development, parang ang shortcut natin is di ba, bayaran na lang natin yung mga magagaling na player para pumunta sa atin. Nawala yung player development. For me also, kailangan ng pondo yung development. Like, resources, human resources, coaches, you can even go as far as training in another country. Kailangan din ng pondo doon. And I'm not sure that other schools can still compete with financially backed up teams in that regard. So yun lang yung nakikita ko. I like the idea of player development. Pero kakailanganin pa rin ng budget dun for me. Kakailanganin pa rin ng budget.
To a certain extent, yes, you need that.
Yeah.
At the same time, for sure, may mga boosters pa rin naman yan.
Yeah.
Tsaka kung hindi ako nagkakamali, may split yung mga schools na yan from the revenues of From what I've heard, From what I've heard.
Allegedly.
From what I've heard, may mga split yan sa revenues yung mga UAP schools. Kaya ngayon pinopropose yung UAP NCAA major. No way, di papayag yun. Mahahati yung split nila. Siyempre, di ba, papayag ba yung mga UAP schools? Yung sa akin, the fact that they're getting, di ba, they're getting all of these revenues, for sure may split yan. Diba? Hindi ko na lang sabihin yung details, pero malaki yan.
Okay, so to clarify, parehas kayong, shaky or just disagree
Ako talaga disagree.
Wait, I have a new suggestion. Sorry, naisip ko lang ngayon. Okay.
Ako disagree talaga.
Suggestion to make it parity. Sorry for extending, but
Go ahead.
They have funds to build a new arena. Right?
Exactly.
They have funds to build a new arena. And to your point na parang dapat may equal share sila na kuha doon. Why not a part of the ticket sales of whatever that arena or lahat ng kita na pupunta sa equal food, nutrition, facility. Gagawa nga arena, dapat lahat ng schools, lahat ng players, lahat ng athletes are able to...
Ang nakikita ko dyan kasi profits So, do we share it to the athletes?
They should! Yun yung sinabi ko when we talked about that. Dapat they should.
Ang nangyayari kasi sa UAP schools, di ba? Usually yung bawat program may back yan. Like, UST has San Miguel, Ateneo has MVP, Lasal has... si Soler, si Razon, di ba? So, UP has Robinsons, tapos I think may BPI din sila. So, parang sa akin, si John Vic Remulla. di ba? Meron sila doon. So parang for me, talking about that, hindi mismo yung schools yung nagpa-fund but they get a share. Di ba? Parang, parang that's another, di ba? Parang, hindi, amin to, kita namin to
And enrollment
ibigay sa athletes to. So, hanap tayo ng booster ng mga tapos magreklamo tayo na pero may pondo, di ba? I'm not saying everything that I'm saying, but from what I've heard.
Okay, yes.
From what I've heard, talagang may share sila. May share sila.
That's true, maybe. But I agree also with you. So, I guess it's time to move on. For our second hot takes, the fourth key effect. So recently, nagka-game ang UST versus Ateneo.
Right.
And surprisingly, I'm using the term surprisingly kasi from the previous season, mas umaangat ang Ateneo than UST. But they were there, Lumaban sila. And of course, Ateneo to UST, we have fourth Patricao. So, knowing that, and ang daming, nakikita naman natin yung laro niya ngayon, What's the fourth key effect right now?
The fourth key effect, okay, so Ateneo, I think it's been 9 years since they've started 0-2. Okay, so ganun na katagal. So medyo hindi okay yung start ng Ateneo. UST naman, they're off to a good start. When you talk about pre-season of this UAAP, we were talking about UP, LaSalle, Ateneo. UST was a big maybe or maybe not. it's too early. Pero the biggest thing is medyo nag-up yung basketball program nila. Nag-up yung basketball program nila. And they also have this player called Fortsky Padrigao. I think for me, he is a court general. I think he is very, very good with controlling the pace, the space, the tempo of the floor. And as you can see last game ng Ateneo, this is a very impressive stat line. 9 assists and 0 turnovers. If you are a point guard lover, you would love that stat because that means you're taking control of the game. And so that's what Fortsky Padriga, I've played with him, I've done skills training with him, and I can see he's a very, very high Q player. Great with ball screens, very offensively talented, but also ang primary weapon niya is he can make everybody look good. He can facilitate very, very well and control the pace. And so that's the Fortsky effect. And nakita naman natin, natalo nila a juggernaut like Ateneo at nagpakilala ang UST. And very, very exciting ang UST this year because of their impressive start.
Dino?
Well, let me start off by adding to what Ayel said about Fortsky. This guy is a UAAP champion to begin with. Before he moved to UST, he won a championship with Ateneo, beating UP in the finals. He was during that season. I think that was his sophomore year, which was 2 years ago, season 85. He was a Mythical 5 member and he was runner-up to Malik Juf, who won that MVP in that season. And he averaged 11 points, almost 5 assists, and almost 5 rebounds, adding up to 2 steals per game. So, this guy can ball, basically, kung ano yung sinabi niya. He has 2 more years of eligibility. Including the season. So far, from what I'm seeing though, they won against UE Ateneo. I think makikita natin when they go up against UP and De La Salle. I think doon mo makikita kung, di ba? Pero this guy can ball. Pero kumbaga yung contention ng UST for a UAAP championship, we will have to see pa. Kasi they have to go up against UP and La Salle. But they're already up there. I see them finishing in the final. Kumbaga makakapasok sila sa final four, in my opinion. But it's too early to tell. And ang nakakatakot dito, di ba, they beat UE 15 points. I think by the halfway of third quarter, tapos na yung laro eh.
Yep.
Di ba? 17 points na lamang nila yung first half eh. Sa atin dikit.
Right.
Medyo dulo lang sila nag-pull away. But they still won it by 10 points. And looking at the stats of Fortsky, okay siya sa assist, 'di ba? I think he's really facilitating well for his team. Now, ang nakakatakot dito sa UST, hindi pa siya pumuputok sa points.
Yes. Mababa pa yung field goal niya.
First game versus UE, 1 out of 5 from 2-point field goal, 1 out of 5 from the 3-point range, 2 out of 10, that's 20%. 'Di ba? And this guy can shoot. Pag nakita mo yung highlights niya sa Ateneo, this guy has the confidence. And second game, mas maraming attempts. 0 out of 4 from 2-point field goal, 2 out of 8 from the 3-point distance. So based on these statistics, he has the license to take that shot. So it's only a matter of time when it falls. Matakot na yung mga ibang teams dyan. You have to guard this guy. You have to contain this guy. Because when those shots start falling, this team will be scary next year. I don't see them winning the UAP championship this year. I still think it's DLSU and La Salle. Maybe they're on the second tier probably with NU and Ateneo. But next year will be scary kasi 9 new players sila this year. Yun. So for me, and at the same time, hindi ko lang naman yung success na 2-0 ng UST, I wouldn't put it solely on Fortsky. Because remember last year, last UAP season, si SMC took over the program of UST. Diba? With pagpasok ni Coach Pido Harencio. So parang transition period nila yung last season eh. Because they didn't have their players, yung players ni Coach Pido coming in. Fortsky wasn't there because he had to sit out for residency. And then I think we will feel the depth of that, kumbaga yung program nila itself by next year. by next
Okay,
year.
I have a question. No? Bakit UST?
Bakit UST? Hindi ko alam. Pero, from my perspective, I haven't talked to Forsky, but puno guard heavy ang UP.
JD Kagulagan.
Lasal also. And UST, may program sila yung SMC program. And being under Coach Pido Harecha, which is also a high caliber professional coach coming from the PBA. No? So, may potential. I think this is one of the cases that we were talking about kami ni Dino kanina na, okay, greener pastures not necessarily benefits, but playing time and capacity and minutes and exposure.
Yes.
So this is, for me, it makes sense. It makes sense for Forsky to go to a team like UST. And so, 2 games in and we're already talking about him and the potential of UST this year. Diba? We weren't talking about them coming into the season. So, I think it was a great move for him. For me personally, I think it was just more of a position move na, more playing time for him here.
Yes. If you're gonna have a fresh start and you have the potential of kumbaga you are already a star at the collegiate level. And for you to have a fresh start, you have to go to a place wherein you maximize the incentives, the financial incentive, which I don't think we will ever doubt with San Miguel, with what they're doing in the PBA,
Yeah.
diba? With the level of talents that they have in their teams. And at the same time, playing time. Because if you want, kumbaga, gusto mong, di ba, you want a fresh start, syempre you want to showcase that,
Okay.
hindi ka na, magaling ka talaga, di ba? So,
Dino, speaking of fresh start, I want to talk about something now. Let's just, inadmit niya na madami siyang nakuhang offer from different universities, internationally, but, they did some background check and nawala yung opportunities na yun. To someone who's good, talagang baller, as you said, pero may mga gossips, allegations na umikot. How do you recover from that? Kasi syempre you have to think about your future, di ba? Paano kung gusto mo mag-pro pero walang gustong tumanggap sa'yo because of those allegations and gossips? What should you do?
So, speaking now from an athlete perspective, and mga viewers, baka makatulong din sa inyo to sort of empathize also with our athletes, no? Iisipin nyo, ilang players lang ba? 15, 75, maybe 9, give or take 90 players sa UAAP, ilang players sa NCAA. Small percentage lang yan ng population sa buong Pilipinas. Okay? So pwede nyo sabihin, ang sarap ng trabaho nila, maglalaro lang sila ng basketball at mababayaran sila. May kapalit yun. Ang kapalit nun is may tinatawag na performance anxiety. Iba ang pressure na naglalaro ka. Pwede nyo sabihin, basketball lang yan, hindi naman yan doktor na gumagawa ng surgery. Iba pa rin pag buong mundo nakatikim sa'yo. And so, in regards to someone like Forsky Padligao na meron siyang mga, may mga gossip, may mga offers na nawala, may mga off-the-court experiences siya na talaga it has an effect on not only on your mental health, but your well-being, your personhood, your esteem, and your confidence. And yeah.
So, no, actually go ahead.
Okay, so,
sorry.
It's very different. It's very hard. And for me, an opportunity will always go back to what is basketball at the end of the day, putting the ball in a hole. So that's why I believe na yes, an athlete can come back. Yes, an athlete can reshape his story. Yes, an athlete can, make continuous progress in his future by simplifying it. And kaya nga, think of sobrang good move na, okay, tanggalin mo lahat, saan ka makakapaglaro ng basketball at makakapag-train na maganda. And that's why I think moving to UST hits home for him.
Okay, pero kasi as an athlete, especially kung ang sinasalihan mo top collegiate levels na, di ba? Syempre dapat maging role model ka.
Yes.
I do get na nandun yung pressure, di ba? Pero, paano yun? Dapat role model ka. Paano yung pressure na yun?
Nanood ba kayo ng Kung Fu Panda?
1, 2, 3! 1, 2, 3, bro.
Ano ba?
Yeah, sa akin, if you guys watch Kung Fu Panda, di ba si Master Ugo yung turtle, sinabi niya kay Panda, sabi niya, the past is history.
Uy.
the future is a mystery. The present is a gift. Kumbaga, the present is a gift, di ba? That's why it's called the present.
Yes.
Di ba? So, sa akin, kung ako si Fortsky, hindi mo naman babalik yung, that's history already. That's the past. Di ba? Whatever, yung kasunod nito, yung future itself, hindi natin alam anong mangyayari because there are so many variables that we don't have control over. Whether you're an athlete, whether you're a professional, or you're a painter, an actor, hindi mo makakontrol yun eh. Now, I think what he can do is focus on the present. Diba? Kasi,
Exactly, yeah.
for sure naman, di lang naman si Fortsky yung nagkamali. Diba? Ako, I mean, I've made mistakes in my life that I cannot take back anymore. Siguro may nasabi ako sa kaibigan ko, may nagawa ako na nakasaktan. Diba? I cannot take that back anymore. But what I can do is, what can I do now to be better? And learn from that experience. I think he's acknowledging it. I don't know I don't know him in person. I've never talked to him. I'm not friends with him. But I think the way that he's approaching it is, this is my fresh start to change, di ba? Tinanggap siya ng UST. Sabi na, who are we to judge? Di ba?
Right.
Someone na yes, grabe yung allegations and I'm not kumbaga condoning whatever he did or those allegations. But for me, wala eh. There's nowhere to go but up. Maybe that was his lowest point when he left Ateneo or before he left Ateneo. But I do believe everyone deserves a chance. Kasi ako, may umamin nga sa akin. May mismong umamin sa akin, hindi ko na papangalanan na before nag-game fixing siya, ngayon hindi na. Diba? So parang I think everyone deserves a chance. So hopefully, yes, you're an athlete, top athlete. You have to set yourself as a role model. But at the same time, do it for yourself, di ba?
Exactly.
And for your family and friends, di ba?
Yeah, exactly. And na-mention niya naman na during those time, syempre, tao din siya, nagkakamali. And, you know, as you guys said, bounce back, be better, learn from your mistakes. Okay, now moving on to our last hot take. So, Dave Ildefonso and Northport standoff. So, I heard that there's been a beef between Northport management and Converge Assistant over some contract negotiations. And because of this, naapektuhan yung contract or yung deal, yung pro career rather ni Dave Ildefonso. Any thoughts?
Well, I'll let you start.
Okay, sige. Kung napanood niyo yung mga past episodes with me on it, and then we were talking about the PBA, I'm sure you guys can draw to a conclusion that I've been critical of the PBA as a league, and along with their alleged teams. But for this particular topic, I will have to side with one of the alleged farm teams, which is the Northport Batang Pair.
At least,
Why? Okay, why? Kasi, okay, may standoff ngayon. Kasi, fifth pick si Dave Ildefonso this past PBA rookie draft. And then, up until now, nagkakaroon ng, hindi pa rin siya nagsasign ng contract, hindi pa rin siya nakakalaro for Northport Batang Pair. And then, syempre, nagka-issue with his dad, calling Northport farm team, di ba, on social media, where he got fined for. Sa akin, lalo natatay mo, ako sa akin parang side ako sa Northport, why? Kahit alleged farm team sila, or given the moves that they've been making, why? Kasi, tatay mo has played in the PBA and he played a long time. For sure, alam mo na yung, I'm sure before you even went to the even before you applied for the rookie draft, you already know ano yung kalakaran sa loob ng PBA, di ba? And I think they were banking on may kumuha sa kanila na competing team or a team a situation wherein that's ideal for him. Pero sa akin, alam mo na yung pinasukan mo diyan eh. Panindigan mo, ako I don't see it as a money issue because you wouldn't kung titignan mo money issue, you would have looked for opportunities internationally. So kung money yung issue, ba't ka nag-apply sa PBA? Knowing what the scale of the salary is, tatay mo is assistant coach for Converge. So alam niya for sure alam nila yung sahod dyan, di ba? So parang sa akin, I don't see it as a money issue. Most likely, hindi siya napunta sa team na gusto niya. Kasi when you look at the draft, one was Converge. Siyempre, they have to get Justin Baltasar, which is his dad's team. They have no choice. Bata ni Delta yun eh. Number 2, Blackwater. They picked Cedric Bearfield. Number 3, from Terra Firma, napunta sa Ginebra, which is RJ Barrientos. Number 4, Phoenix, kay Kai Balungay. I think they were hoping mapunta siya sa 6 to 9. Kasi yung 6 to 9 was NLEX.
Okay.
I think that's an MVP. They're competing. I mean,
Right.
even if there's sister teams in the PBA, those sister teams are competing for a championship. Di ba? I would confidently say that 7 and 8 was rain or shine. One of the good teams na independent, number 9
Right.
was Magnolia. So parang for me, they were hoping pero hindi nangyari. So parang I think they don't wanna play for pero hindi ka bibitawan ng Northport yan.
Right.
Yeah.
Hindi.
So, okay, just to wrap our last hot take, saang team ba bagay si Dave?
Personally, hindi siya bagay sa Northport. Marami siyang kaposisyon. For me,
Arvin
si Will. Monzon. So, I get it eh. I get it na parang, okay, this might not be the best situation for me. I think all things are still fair. Northport offered him the max for 2 years. Max contract 2 years. For a 5th pick, hindi kailangan yun, pero in-offer nila. But I agree with you na hindi siya matter of money. It's a matter of being in a better position. I think he entered the draft not thinking na dun siya maglaland.
Yeah.
And baka it's not too late for him na, sige, kung Northport lang ang mapupunta, baka may opportunity sa ibang bansa na last minute.
Yes.
Or something like that. But for me, saan ba siya pwede?
Ako, there's just
TNT.
Hindi, we just have to look at it realistically. Kasi from what I've read, ni-reject yung trade offer ng Converge sa ng Meralco eh. And they said they're not gonna release Dave eh. So sa akin, if that's the case, ganun yung mentality. Tsaka, okay, sige, going back to the alleged farm team, they're not planning to win a championship. Tas, di ka magbabayad ng 200, 250, di ka nagbabayad ng 200, 250K?
Right.
Makakatipid ka, so okay lang. So totoo lang kung okay Northport, okay lang sa akin, hindi ko binabayaran si Dave eh.
Solid pa rin yung
syempre,
team.
because na-aggravate na because of the comment of his dad.
Yeah.
So parang magpamatigas kami dito. Now, the only way I see this, parang there's only 2 options for me when it comes to Dave. You play in Northport, you sign the contract, you play in Northport, play the best as you can. Kung you shine in that, para mapansin ka ng SMC teams, di ba? Para take a chance on you, matrade sila. Usually, naman yan eh, magpapatrade na yan eh. Or, if ayaw mo talaga maglaro for Northport, you look for other offers elsewhere.
Alright, okay, so I guess it's time for our comments.
Let's see.
First, sino tingin nyo mag-champion sa UAAP this season?
Ako Lasal.
Back to back. I like JD Kagulangan. I like my how he's playing right now. It might be UP. It might be UP.
Ako Lasal.
Yeah.
Lasal, stock eh. Tsaka yung Kevin Kiambao.
Ibang klase.
Yeah.
Ibang klase.
I think si Kevin Kiambao kasi at a very young age, he got exposed playing in Dubai with strong group. Tapos, nasa Gilas seniors team pa siya.
Yeah.
That kind of experience, it will matter in the crucial moments.
Right.
Okay, next comment. Mali yung UAAP residency rule. Kaya naman naglilipatan yan dahil sa pera. Paramihan lang ng pera laban to get players. #fact.
Not necessarily champion online shot. Thank you for your comment. Like we said kanina, yes, may pera involved. But also, pwedeng playing time eh. Kung hindi ako naglalaro dito, kailangan kong maglaro eh. Diba? Hindi ko titiisin yung pera, which is short term, compared sa long term career na pwede ko makuha if I get the playing time and exposure that I can get. So,
Sa akin, development yan. Kasi, if we develop our players and then maging magaling tayo as a basketball nation, we easily get to top 15. There will be more opportunities for our homegrown players to play abroad. So, pwede na sila maglaro sa Europe. Sa wakas, magkakaroon na tayo ng NBA player na homegrown, di ba? Sa akin, development eh. Huwag tayo short term sa akin yung recruitment. Sa akin, palakasin natin yung program natin. Not just on yung mga basketball programs sa UAP but also on a national level.
Okay. Sige, do we have... Okay, next comment. Okay, sana si Forsky. Dami lang sablay off-court. Sana may mag-guide ng maayos sa bata.
true. Like always, these are college players, no? And like what Kyla said, no? We also expect them to be a certain level. There's a standard, they're role models. Sila na nga yung #1 marketable players sa buong bansa, di ba? So I agree. And I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful that he continues to turn things around.
Yeah. Sa akin, important yan yung support system. Kasi ako, myself, I have support system. I have my family. I have people that believe in me. So, saka yung hindi ka dadalhin sa masamang bisyo.
Yeah.
Diba? Kailangan natin yan yung support system. I think everyone needs that. Especially people, yung mga bata katulad, diba? Like sa college, yung mga high school. Diba? Yung mga decisions that they made, if wala kang tamang support system, or masama yung barkada mo, patay ka talaga dyan.
Right.
Diba?
Right.
Okay, next comment. If kayo yung coach, same level of importance lang ba yung on-court skill and off-court maturity? Sabi ni JM Farinas.
Yes. I think maraming hindi gumaganda yung career nila kahit magaling sila on the court. Dahil hindi okay or stable yung off-court maturity nila. I'm not gonna name names. And maraming mas naging successful pa dahil steady yung off-court nila. Kahit pwede pa i-develop yung on-court. Pero like I said, we're in the age of social media and people are looking at you. People are looking at heroes, quote-unquote heroes. And titignan yan kung okay ka bang tao, do you have appeal, but not only that, but are you a good person? Malalabas at lalabas din yan. So yes.
Kahit sobrang galing, di mo kukunin?
Hindi, kukunin ko. Pero ang tinatanong niya, if ako yung coach at same level of importance, yes, ako.
Hindi, pero kung may off-court issues, like
Kukunin
yung
ko, pero
kukunin mo?
Kukunin ko pero i-develop ko yung off-court issues niya within the...
That's nice, yes.
Yeah, kasi
as
nga,
coaches,
you can give second chances.
Yes,
Oh,
yes.
Same kami ni AL. Sa akin, nakakadamay kasi yan sa team mismo pag if you have off-court issues
Right.
It can be a distraction, especially if you're a coach trying to keep everyone on the same page. So if may off-court distractions and off-court issues, it kind of, di ba, may mga ganun, ang ginagawa na lang ng mga teams, they just release the player.
Right.
Okay, so our last comment. Baba kasi yung 200k monthly for a rookie like Dave. Magkano na kinikita sa Korea Pero sablay naman itong si Dave. Papa-draft ka, tapos alam mo magkano max, biglang ayaw naman. Sakit sa band.
Yun yung sinasabi ko.
Yes.
Alam mo kung ano yung alam niya kung ano yung pinapasok niya when he signed the application, submitted the application. Siya mismo nagsabi he wanted to follow the footsteps of his father going into the PBA. And then ngayon, biglang, wala na. Ayaw na niya maglaro.
I agree. Yun yung point na sinabi ni Dino kanina. And so, I mean, from Dave's perspective and his father, they're looking at the best possible scenario for him. Now that he's drafted at number 5, yan yung offer sa kanya, baka tinitignan pa nila kung anong pwede nilang gawin or baka makalipat siya, makatrade siya or pumunta siya sa ibang bansa. Maybe, who knows. But it's always for the best situation for him, like I said.
Possible din kasi, baka wala siyang offer internationally. Kasi
Kaya
I think hindi maganda yung stint niya dun sa Korea.
Yeah.
He didn't perform that well for him to be given offers. Kasi tingin ko may offer yun. Hindi siya mapipili. Tingin ko.
Yeah.
Given the issues din also. Okay, so I hope to our viewers, I hope you guys learned a thing or two. And nag-agree ba kayo, disagree, you guys can still comment down below sa chat box natin. So, of course guys, if you want to elevate your sports experience, dive into the world of live sports like never before with Sports Plus PH. So whether you're a diehard fan or simply love the thrill of a game, register at Sports Plus PH. So, and of course, syempre, ang dami pa nating lives, ang dami nating updates. For you guys to be updated, follow us on our social media accounts. So, thank you guys so much. It's been a pleasure.
But thank you mga ka-Sports Plus. Thank you for Friday night.
Yes, happy Friday guys. Happy weekend.
Happy Friday.
Ito na yun. So once again, I'm your host, Kyla Cortez. Together with me are Ayel Banal and Dina Lee. Thank you guys for tuning in. Bye!
Everybody knows preparation plus opportunity equals success. I remember going back to my parents and just like crying. I'm like, I don't really want to play anymore. This is not for me. But like my parents, my brother was there, my sister was there. Obviously, I don't want to let them see me cry. basketball is really life for me. Everything I do since I was young too. Didn't take no vacations. I was just all basketball. I mean, I'm super interested just to ask them, like, what do you want to be? I guess that's something I should do. And I'm gonna keep playing for you guys.
And that is a wrap. My God.